Welcome, everybody, to the first podcast in August. I am your co-host, Steve Mark. You know, he's joined by
Charles there.
And we are fresh from a week off. We had a week prior to that where Charles was off, and then I was off on vacation. So now we're back.
It's a mess. We're a mess.
We're a mess. Charles is running on empty.
Yes.
He's been working for 10 days straight.
Awful.
He's Jamaican with 37 jobs. Or one job. Here comes somebody.
Uh-oh. Everyone say hi to Heather.
Yeah, Heather sneaking in. So before we start anything today, Charles, I do want to give out another congratulations.
Who are we congratulating?
This is going out to my niece, Tabitha Henson.
Is she pregnant?
No. That's probably coming.
She having a boy or a girl?
A house.
No.
She put a down payment on a house in Westland, 2-bedroom.
Does it have wheels?
No, it does not. It has an upstairs and a downstairs, no basement, no garage, but it's got a huge driveway. I guess you can fit like 8 cars in a driveway. It was Mr. Bergeron, Scott Bergeron, member of the Fat Guys family, helped her find the house. She put $20,000 down. It looks like everything's going through.
Where did she get $20K from?
She's been saving up for quite a while, actually.
How much was the house? Like 80?
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say,
so that's not a bad. She might get it paid off pretty quick. I mean, she's 26 years old. Her boyfriend's moving in with her. Inspection.
What does
tomorrow.
she do?
She works in a medical office. She was a phlebotomist, but I don't know.
How come we've never had her here? I'm surprised by that.
That's true. Because everyone in Michelle's family avoids cameras.
That's
That's why. I can't have her on. That's a good point. I'll have to bring her on.
Yeah.
They went, actually, my wife and her went to a kind of a unique expo Saturday.
I didn't know what this was. So Heather told me that they're at like some weird. I'm like, what?
It's almost like a horror movie. It's like if you took all the creepy acts on America's Got Talent and then just made an expo about them. Like, you ever seen the ones where they put the hooks through the skin? Yeah. So there was that.
But like, how is it an expo for that?
It was in Novi. She knew about it. Michelle wanted to be the good aunt, went along with it. I mean, there's some unique pictures they have and stuff like fetuses in jars. And you could buy like weird, creepy things.
I'm asking a question: Are they fake? Is it all like
there's no
stuff?
There's no real fetuses in jars. It might be. I don't know. But I mean, Michelle wouldn't go back, but she said it was kind of unique. Tabitha's in there.
Where was it?
In suburban Novi Center. It was big. So
I was gonna say, was there a bunch of people there?
Yeah, it was $10 to get in. A lot of people. If you're into horror movies,
cheaper than a Comic-Con.
Yeah. Side note on that in a second. So if you're into horror movies and creepy stuff, it's something you need to see. Something oddities and something showcase. And they had a guy that had the wires with the hooks, and they were hanging him from the ceiling.
Could you hit him like a pendulum? You run by.
I don't think. I think they barred it off.
Let me push that guy.
I mean, Tabitha's always been into this. She loves zombies and horror movies and stuff. So any kind of zombie game, she's automatically playing. So it was all right up her alley. And Michelle thought it was neat, but whatever.
I've never heard of it.
Me either. It's the first. I think they have expos for just about everything.
There's a weed one. I saw HempCon as I was driving home today.
I'm waiting for the toenail expert expo. I gotta go see that. But the other thing about Comic-Con, there's another Comic-Con coming in Chicago. Now, there's one here in August that I usually go to. I've bitched on the podcast before. It's $60 a ticket. I ain't going.
The one in Chicago.
Yeah. But there's a second one in Chicago now that's going to be in October. It's 11th, 12th, and 13th. And guess who's going to be there?
Who?
Tom Holland of Spider-Man fame.
Oh, okay.
And guess who loves Tom Holland?
Yeah.
My daughter. But we're not going to go.
How big is this one going to be?
I don't know.
Because the one in Chicago is at the Rose Center?
It's going to be at the same place, the Rosemont Arena or whatever. But it's not. Wizard World does the main Comic-Cons. This is called Ace Comic. There's only like 9 celebrities going to be there.
So how did they pull Tom Holland over?
They must have some kind of weird contract. Because he's also the guy from The Kingsman, the young kid who played Elton John. He's going to be there. But here's the kick on it. So we looked up how much it costs. It's sold out, by the way. How much a photograph or an autograph costs. Any idea? What's your guess on Tom Holland autograph?
So you got to buy it ahead of time.
You got to you got to buy the package ahead of time.
150.
200.
Oh.
And he's all sold out. So
wow.
Holly was considering it. She's like, I really want that Apple Watch, but I love Tom Holland.
Oh my God.
But then when she found out it was sold out, she's like, okay, never mind. So those Marvel people and Brie Larson.
That's got to be a big
there.
get. Yeah. I mean, that's.
He's gonna make some cash.
Yeah.
A couple thousand people at $200 a pop. You can do the math there. You can make some good cash just for sitting in a room for 8 hours. I don't make that much in 8 hours. I wish I did. So there you go. Congratulations to Tabitha on her new home, soon to be. And I do have some stories coming up about what Mr. Henson did in the middle of all that. But
okay.
I have to find out all the details first from Mr. We'll have Mr. Bergeron on to explain
how
he
how
had
the
to deal with
process went.
He's been dying to come back on anyway. So
okay.
he said he felt so official because he was on a podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And like
Is that
people
his
that
resume now?
Yeah, the people that worked with him like, oh, it was so cool.
Oh.
So we'll have him
Dude,
back
can we
on.
have the whole Bergeron team? We'll go on remote to Century 21 and have the whole Bergeron team.
Oh man, we'll have his
I'm
mom
all
on.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, as you know, this past week I went on vacation, and some of you may not know, I went to Philadelphia because that's where a lot.
So how many days did you technically go to Philadelphia?
I was there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and drove back Monday. So
Okay.
3 solid days. Well, 2.5 really, because Friday I spent half the day driving.
8-hour drive, right?
Yes. So yeah,
Solid 8 hours. You take your time.
well, yeah, I'm closer to 9.
Yeah.
You know, we had 2 stops.
Okay.
And, you know, you stop once for the bathroom and refill the gas tank. Then you
Once
stop
to
again
eat.
for lunch,
Yeah.
and then you're there.
Where'd you stop to eat?
Now this is part of my cons of the trip. To get there, you pretty much take 75 South right to the Ohio Turnpike
And just hit it.
and then the Ohio Turnpike stops and becomes the Pennsylvania Turnpike.
So you pay before you leave Ohio and
then
pay
pay-
when you're into Philly or into Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah, well, you don't really technically pay until you get off in Pennsylvania. So you
so
get a
they-
ticket,
okay.
and then you give them the ticket. And then you look at our stop was like one of the last ones on the ticket. Any guess?
Yeah, you
one
already
way.
told me it was $40 or
$40,
something.
and it was $20 in Ohio. So in total, it was $63 one way for tolls.
Holy hell!
One
dude.
way, $63. So that's one of the cons of the trip to
Dude, how much was
Philadelphia.
a flight to Philly at this point?
I don't know, but I know it
Yeah,
was
you gotta look into that. By the time you gassed up, did you take the F-150 or the
no. We
Equinox?
took Michelle's car, so it was 3 tanks of gas at about $35 a piece.
So you got 90 there, like
126 in tolls.
Oh my god!
Then, of course, you're in downtown Philly, so you're paying parking. We got popped for 35 one day,
Wow.
and then 13 another. So
Because you can master. So what we do, we make a point to sit the car. Like whenever we go to like a bigger city, we'll sit the car and mass transpo everywhere. Is what we try to do. The only thing we drove to in Philadelphia was the place with the Rocky statue.
and that was the one we got popped for 13 because we walked over and saw that we went to the penitentiary and then walked over. But so that one of the downsides of Philadelphia
That's
was the
crazy.
tolls. I mean, you can take a route without the tolls, but it's probably gonna take you 10 days by wagon train to get there.
Yeah, it's pretty
I don't
nuts,
know.
though.
So that kind of sucks. The parking kind of sucks, and there's traffic. So when we went, we stayed. It's called King of Prussia. It's also called Valley Forge. I don't
Is
know.
it which direction? Is it a suburb? Is it northwest?
I
southeast?
think it's south of Philly.
So
by
you
about
went
10
past
miles.
Philly?
Yeah, I went like this.
Yeah.
And about 10 miles south of Philly, I believe is where it is. And there's only one freeway that goes into downtown Philly from there.
But they don't have like a bypass freeway you could take to not go.
No. Well,
So you know
I
how
don't
like
know.
475 skirts, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
But the one freeway wasn't a toll, so that wasn't a big deal. The tolls were only coming from Michigan to Philly.
That's brutal.
Yeah, but it's 76 and it's on a 2-lane freeway. And we were there. We went into the city Saturday and Sunday. No matter what time, I was stuck in a parking lot on that freeway.
that sucks.
No accidents, no construction.
Just hanging
Just
out.
so slow.
Yeah.
It was like, oh. So on the way back and on the way there, stuck in construction both times.
Yeah.
And my GPS, I still use a Magellan. I know I'm old school. I should use my phone or whatever.
It flakes out in these. You can't
tall
roll it.
buildings.
Dude, it's ridiculous.
I thought I was going the wrong way down a one-way,
Dude,
and I wasn't.
it is the worst thing. That's the one thing that I'll say. Phones triangulate better than an old school GPS do.
Yeah, they flip
Because
out in big cities.
as soon as you get anything above 4 stories, it starts freaking out, and you're like, it's got me going the other direction. I'm like, I don't
or if you're in
know.
a parking garage, you got to wait till you
I
get out of the
learned
parking
that
garage.
on the East Coast trip, similar to your trip, when we went into downtown New York, like Manhattan area. Dude, it had no idea where it was. It was just freaking out. So from that point forward, if I know I'm going into a big city, I'll print directions to just have as backups because it's a problem.
Yeah. So we got there. We stayed at King of Prussia, it was called. And we had a hotel inside a casino. So that was kind of nice. Except for, I mean, we had our 15-year-old with us. And it was nice. It had a pool. And
How much
everything.
did you kick a night to stay there?
About $100 a night.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, about $300 inside a casino. So me and Holly and I can go swimming. Michelle can go gamble. So everyone had something to do at night once we got back. So that was nice. The only downside was
Was
the
it
pool.
like an Indian casino or something?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, it's like a proper Pennsylvania Philly.
Yeah, it wasn't huge. It's probably a little bit smaller than the Toledo Casino. I don't know if you've been there.
Yeah.
But it was nice. It was fine. You had slot machines, tables. They actually had a sports book in there too.
Oh, man.
But you had to be there to collect. You couldn't do it like Vegas where you send it in. So I couldn't play because they had MMA and everything. I was about to call you guys. Who's fighting? Who's losing?
Oh my god!
But I'd have to drive back to Philly, and after that toll, I'd lose
that
money.
Sucks.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool, and then it makes me wonder why Michigan doesn't have a sports book yet. But the only thing that sucked about that place was the pool hours were weird. 11 a.m. to 8.
So 8's a little early.
Yeah,
8's a little early.
Well, what happens in
Usually it's 10, and maybe you'll get an adult swim from 10 to 11.
Yeah, well, what I found out was this place becomes Party Central. So,
so they rent the pool deck out as a club.
Yes, a live band comes on. You got to pay 10 at 9 o'clock.
That's all it is.
And you pay $10 cover, and you get in and see the band.
They monetize the pool area.
The bar, the bar in the lobby becomes a karaoke bar, and then the casino gets a live DJ. So it's straight party time Friday and Saturday night at this place. And
did you guys go down at all and check it out, or?
Holly couldn't. She wasn't old enough.
Oh, okay.
But she was up in the room, and she would listen to the music. Oh, I know this song. And she'd be dancing.
You could hear it all the way up in the room.
Yeah.
Like badly?
Not bad. You had to put your ear up to the window to hear
okay.
it. But we were on the 8th floor.
Okay.
So, but she was grooving and wanted to go down there so bad. I was like, I'm sorry, you're not old enough. Oh, this sucks.
Adult Holly would have a different adventure.
Oh, and she'd have been down there partying and dancing. But it was a nice place. I liked it. And then so we go into the city. The first Saturday, and we see the Philadelphia Zoo because my wife loves zoos, and it's fine.
What did it do? Anything different?
They did one thing. Their thing is kind of neat. They have a walkway that goes above where you are for the monkeys and the big cats. Okay. So, like, say you're walking, looking at exhibits, you could see a tiger up above you.
Did you get to see that? That was the one where Heather said it'd be funny if one of them peed on you.
Yeah, it's all chain link. So if they piss, it's coming through there. There's nothing to stop that.
That's crazy.
We saw a couple. There was a cougar. Big ass cougar just sleeping up on one, and then a couple monkeys were running around smacking each other through the thing.
That's kind of fun.
So that was their kind of.
Did they have the tiger that Rocky yells at when he proposes to Adrian, dude?
There's a tiger there, but I don't know if it's that tiger.
man.
I mean, I imagine that one's probably
Dude,
dead, right?
so
But
good.
they did have a tiger. The only thing they were missing, there was two things that I thought were missing: lions. I didn't see no lions, and they had no elephants.
Okay.
Everything else they had: gorillas, rhinos, hippos.
So, a totally serviceable zoo.
Yeah.
Is this in the heart of the city, or is this?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's right on the edge. Like if you're going into the city, it's probably on the east side, lower east side, I guess.
Okay.
It's a little ways from the Rocky statue and stuff like that. So it's
because I felt the Rocky statue, I think, is in the heart.
Yeah.
Like at the one end of that, because like when you come down and you look out from the rock, it's like a whole boulevard that kind of cuts right through the middle.
Yeah, and so so the zoo was fine. It was nice, but God, unlike you and Heather, like Michelle and I don't go on vacations in the summer all that much. We try to do spring. It's
so
hot. It's a weekend, and there's a sea of strollers.
Yeah,
I'm just not used to that. It's like Jesus
sucks.
Christ, there's so many. It was hot, and they really milk you. One bottle of water was $3. It's like, oh my God.
It begins.
Yeah, I was like, hey, they're milking us here. But so then we get out of there, and this is the Reading Terminal Market. This is what I told you about before we left. It's in the heart of downtown. It's
so we talked about it. You thought it was going to be like an Eastern market type.
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, it is kind of like that. It's indoors. It's a big building. We parked in parking structure across from it, and it's got all kinds of ethnic food. So you got Arabic food, Indian food,
falafels.
You got Italian, you got soul food,
like
anything you want,
hot and ready to go. Or
yeah,
something
they're
take
cooking
home.
it. No,
yeah.
they're cooking it. But here's the problem with this place: it is packed with about 1,000 people, and there's only limited seating.
So well, that's how a lot of those markets are. So like the Granville Island Market in Vancouver was that way. You're kind of grab and go and just kind of taking off.
Yeah, it was. You couldn't eat. I mean, you couldn't stop and eat anywhere. I mean, you could buy it and then pretty much just go back to your car or go outside and try to eat it, which was a bummer. They had
I kind of eat and walk is what I did because they had that crazy bagel place, and I was just like,
They had a cookie place that was on the Food Network that Holly recognized, and then there was this soul
Did you
food
get a cookie?
place. We got it on the way back. So we ended up leaving, and there was a Hard Rock at the corner where we could sit in air conditioning and eat
Just
without
take it
being
easy
smashed.
for a minute. Yeah.
So we went there, and then we realized the Liberty Bell and stuff was about 5 blocks away. So we walked 5 blocks up.
Because the Liberty Bell, if I remember correctly, is kind of off to what would be like the south of the city in the heart, though. Still.
Yeah. Well,
it's like at that park.
Yeah. And then at the Liberty Bell is all this historic stuff.
Yeah.
So you go to Liberty Bell, you go left, and that's where the Constitution Center is. We went to that. Has a big Greenfield Village kind of vibe to it. The Declaration of Independence is there. The Bill of Rights is there.
Yeah.
All kinds of, if you like historical stuff, and they had a cool
I thought the display stuff for the Liberty Bell was super. Like it's all like quarantined off, and I was like, wow, it's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Constitution Center was kind of the coolest thing I thought they had. They had a podium, the same one that the president stands out to do.
Okay,
so me and Holly were taking pictures as the president and stuff. I thought that was fun. So the Constitution Center, it's only like $14. Of course, my 15-year-old could give two craps about it.
You're geeking out.
Yeah, me and Michelle enjoyed it. We were like, this is cool. And then the only thing I like, did you see the Liberty Bell when you were there?
Yes, I did.
I didn't know it was a national park. I didn't know.
It's like weirdly in the middle of the city.
So you have to wait in a line that's like 40 minutes long.
Well, we went on a different day. We walked right out.
Oh,
so
really?
Totally different conversation.
Okay, so this is the weekend.
Yeah.
It is about a 40-minute line. And you got to go through a metal detector.
Yeah,
and then there's like 9 armed guards.
My question to you is, when was the last time you did? Because like to go on any of those towers, you got to go through metal. It's just part of life now.
Yeah, well, first I thought the Liberty Bell was just kind of like in a park somewhere stuck out. And
no, it's in a whole. It's
they
really
take that shit
neat,
serious there.
But it's enormous too. Like it's one of those things. Like
it's a bit. Well, you got to see it with some time and not be rushed.
Yeah, it was super chill.
We had about 7 or 8 Dave Markeys working for TSA. Move along.
Kicking you out of there.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got like 2 or 3 pictures, and it's like, okay, come on.
Oh, yeah. No, totally different on a weekday.
Yeah,
so
they were pumping us in and out like cattle there. I understand because there's so many people, but I was just surprised. Then I took my belt off. They make you take your belt off for that metal detector. And I pulled my drawers. I was trying to walk through there, trying to weasel that belt back on. But I enjoyed it. It was all historic. And then, of course, you go past that, and there's what is that? Something Hall, Dependence Hall.
At the as you come out at the one side. Yeah,
I guess you need to be
it's
there
all
a certain
cobblestone
time.
and everything. Yeah, it's
very
really
historic. Neat. It's all cool. If you're into history, highly suggest going to Philadelphia.
We were there actually. I want to say so. It was 2016. It was right before the Democratic Convention was taking place in Philadelphia. So like they had all this Democratic stuff, and it was. Super cool city for that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
man.
and if you're into history, if anybody wants to know history of the country, probably go there.
Super cool.
And so the day before when we drove in, we did go, and this is where I sent you some text from it. It's called the King of Prussia Mall. Find out it's the second biggest mall in the U.S. I was not
behind the Minnesota one.
Minnesota's number 1. This one's number 2. This place. People listening don't know what Somerset Mall is, but you know what Somerset is. Take that and times it by 3 or 4.
Oh,
this
okay.
place
as far as size, as far as square footage,
and it's all high-end places.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's super bougie at Somerset, so it's super bougie.
It's Gucci, Louis Vuitton.
Wow.
I sent you some of those pictures. There's no fast food in there. It's like there's no McDonald's. There's a Chick-fil-A and a Subway. That's the low end.
Oh wow.
Everything else is way more expensive.
Wow.
They have a
Was it packed like Somerset can be?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people in there. The only low end they had this Primark place that Michelle was dying to go.
What is it?
It's kind of like a Burlington Coat Factory. It's got all these discount shirts and stuff.
TJ Maxx?
Yeah. It's where all of us poor folk hang out.
Wow.
I mean, Michelle bought a lot of stuff there. But yeah, it's a very high end mall. But it was nice. It was clean. They had this thing there. We didn't get a chance. Called Dragon's Breath. This is ice cream made with liquid nitrogen, and you put it in your mouth, and it looks like you're vaping almost. We didn't get a chance to get, but Holly did get what she was there for.
What is it?
The cookie dough. She got the cookie dough.
Oh, my God.
Hey, first off, I thought it was going to be this nice shop. It's just little crap.
Shit shack,
in the middle, you know what I'm talking about.
What kind of cookie dough did she get?
I actually got one with Sheriff Michelle. I got the cookies and cream, and she got traditional chocolate chip.
Yeah, super
and
good.
$5.
They put it in a waffle cone?
No, ours was in cups for $5.
Oh my God, it was so good in that waffle cone.
But it's so tiny. I mean, I was like $5.
Well, I'll tell you this. So whatever that was,
tastes
Sweet
like cookie dough.
Scoops, Sweet Scoops or whatever that was in Seattle, It was like you know how you get like a chew scoop? It was like that, but like oh my God, Steve, it was a game changer. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, so that was the mall. Then the Sunday we went to the penitentiary that you've been to.
Fantastic.
I liked
Did you
it.
take the audio tour with Steve Buscemi?
For a while. Then I just turned him off. I just
you were
walk
over
around.
it? I thought it was neat the way that they set it up.
I was
where,
always
like-
ahead of what they were talking
Oh,
about.
because they'll give you audio if you look to the left.
Yeah.
I thought it was neat. I really did.
I liked it. You only little thing, like you go down one cell block, and there's like
because it all pivots like a wheel.
it's spoked and
Yeah.
but one cell block and then all the other cell blocks kind of look the same.
Well,
it wasn't much
Capone one
different.
was different.
Yeah, that was done up
obviously,
like a
yeah.
hotel room.
Yeah.
I like the best part was did you have the one section that was air conditioned where you go in and people actually wrote some of the crimes they've done, put them on the walls.
I don't think I did.
Yeah,
they might have just changed the exhibits. Since I was there.
There's an air conditioned room, and it has a whole bunch of stuff and the history of crime and blah blah blah. And people like me or you visiting could write on a notebook like a crime you've done
They didn't get caught for
and didn't get caught for, and submit it if you want to admit it, and then leave your name off it. Like one was a teacher that stole from a kid's cancer fund.
Jeez.
And they wrote it out. I'm like, why would you admit
No,
this?
I did not get to see that at all.
Yeah.
When I was there, it was about the incarceration of like different ethnic groups and like how. So they must change displays.
Yeah.
I thought that was super neat.
One of the best things, though, I took a picture of it. I should have brought it with me. They have a children's book with a cartoon rabbit on the cover, dealing with dad going to prison.
Oh, jeez.
They sold that book in the gift shop. Oh, I should have bought it.
I was gonna say I'd buy that.
Oh
just to
man, I
say.
should have bought that. It was hilarious. I did take a
Yeah.
picture of it though. I had to show it to you.
It's
so
weird
funny.
because like that penitentiary is like, to your point, it's just kind of in the city. It's so weird the way it is. Like you go down a street and then boom, there's a penitentiary right there.
Yeah, it
we
looks like a
parked in a
fort from
lot
the
like right
outside.
next door.
That's
yeah.
where I parked. Yep.
Yeah, super weird.
And it looks like a fortress or a fort from the
Yeah.
outside. So or a castle. Looks like a
And
castle.
if we were there on a really hot day, and it just felt super creepy. We were like, "What the heck is this, man?" And
Yeah,
then,
we
like,
did the old
They
tour.
showed the guard towers, and Steve Buscemi's telling. I just thought it was super cool.
Yeah, I liked it. I did, but I didn't make it all the way with Steve Buscemi. I was like, that's enough. I just took the headset off and looked. Now, from there, we walked to the Rocky statue. If you cut down 24th Street. And
You
cut
left
over-
yourself in that lot. And
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Motored up.
That way I didn't have to keep finding parking spots.
Yeah.
I figured, well, it was 4 or 5 blocks. I figured it's fine. We can handle it.
Yeah.
I mean, Holly handled it well.
Uh-oh.
But got to the Rocky statue. Now, there was a line to get to the Rocky
There.
statue.
What day is this of the week?
This is
though?
a Sunday.
Yeah. So again, weekend. I think we were just there on different times.
Yeah, you
Was
picked a
there the
good time.
homeless guys asking for you to trying to take your picture for you when you were there though?
No,
There's like
we
a-
got him at the top of the stairs.
He's at the top of the stairs now. What do you mean?
Well, okay, so the Rocky
He's like
stairs.
as you come down and to the left. When
No,
I
no,
was-
I'm talking about the homeless guys trying to take our picture.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
I don't know if
They
he
were
was
hanging
homeless.
out by the statue. You would take a picture. You know what I mean?
I think maybe the weekend's too many people there.
Oh, okay.
No, so you wait in line about 20 minutes and you take a picture of Rocky and post that on Facebook.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah, so and then I raced Holly up the stairs.
Ah, you gotta do it.
I
Man.
just lost her by about 2 steps. And the best part is Holly, who's in much, much better shape than I am, was out of breath for maybe 15 seconds. I was out of breath for about 5 minutes. I was like, oh my God, I'm dying.
So cool.
And
Then
she
you-
looked over at me like, you're still out of breath? I'm like, have you seen how big I am?
Yeah, and then you turn, you look, and like I said, that main boulevard just kind of cuts the whole city and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Super cool, man.
Well, Rocky's feet are in the cement.
I don't think I paid attention to
Yeah,
that.
so if you get up to the top of the steps halfway across, he did it like the Hollywood walk
Yeah.
of fame.
But
There's-
where he did the.
yeah, so that's where they try to get me. This guy comes over. I was wearing a Lions hat for some reason, and they're like, "Oh man, you from Detroit?" Yeah, yeah. Well, Taylor.
he's working a hustle.
Yeah, come over and see Rocky's feet, man. Rocky's feet. And I've been here 13 years. Come on over and see Rocky's feet. Give me your phone. I'll take a picture for you. So I know what happened. I take the picture. He tried, and I was like, I'm good. Don't need to see Rocky. That's where they were when I was there.
Okay, so
they
to
weren't
your
down by
point,
the
it
statue.
must be so busy.
Yeah, so they picked their places. And then from there we go over, and this is the biggest letdown. This is what I was telling you ahead of time.
How far? Now, let me ask you the question. So, as you're going, how far was it from Rocky to the corner where these places exist?
I'll say, now we're talking about the cheesesteaks. I keep saying cheesecake. About 3 miles.
Oh, so they weren't that far from where we were. Heather and I were right
But-
there.
Yeah, you could have probably. Here's the thing.
It's a weird kind of angled street and everything.
Oh,
too.
yeah. So for all my life, not all my life, but all my football watching life, anytime the Philadelphia Eagles were on TV, everyone told you need to eat Geno or Pat's cheesesteaks,
It's
Philadelphia.
like an institution.
And then
yeah.
after that, you hear about the Food Network. The Food Network tells
Everyone's
you,
at
everybody, you
Genos.
got
Genos
to
and Pat's,
Genos and
Genos
Pat's,
and
Genos and
Pat's,
Pat's, Genos and Pat's. All right, so 10 years ago, I was in Pennsylvania, never got to go to Philadelphia, ran off the road. So I've been wanting these damn cheesesteaks. I'm gonna give you a cheesesteak.
So at this point, your want is huge.
It's huge. So I should have known I was gonna be disappointed.
Yeah.
So you start with your GPS. You're going 3 miles into the south side, I think, over to the one side.
Okay.
It's not a business district. It's like
An old,
it's like
old
Southwest
school.
Detroit.
Yeah,
it's
like
one-way streets.
Yeah,
Narrow.
Super confusing.
If I had my F-150,
and they're at like an angled street. I want to say too.
And if I had my F-150 in there, I don't think I would have made it down some of those streets. So it's really tight. I'm moving in and out.
Are there places to drop the car? Or?
No, there is no parking lot.
And
It's
so
just-
parking wars was in Philadelphia. Those parking people that meter readers and stuff like that nail people all the time.
Yeah. So I finally find it. It shows up in the middle of this neighborhood. Geno's and then Pat's is across the street.
Okay.
So I drop Holly and Michelle off. And I'm like, go get in line because there's a line, another line.
Is there?
I realized
this again is a Sunday still. It's the same
it's
day,
a Sunday and line's about half a block long.
Yeah.
I'll go find a parking spot. Couldn't find one. I ended up finding one 6 blocks away.
Oh, jeez.
As I start walking up, I'm hustling back. I gotta go get my cheesesteak.
Texting her.
Yeah,
like,
I'm on the way. I'm on the way.
Yeah.
So Michelle and Holly get up there, and they immediately tell her, no credit card. All right, fine. So you place 2
How
orders.
annoying.
Yeah, I know.
It's 2019.
Yeah.
And also, you're traveling. You don't want to carry a big wad with you.
Yeah, exactly. So one window you order your cheesesteaks. The other window you order
pick
your
up
fries.
here, yeah.
No, there's 2
Oh,
windows.
jeez.
So you order your cheesesteaks at one, you order your side stuff in another, and then you pay in a third. Is what they told me. Is what they did. So, like I said, I was telling you before the podcast, it's $50. They're about 8 inches long.
Are they packed? Or are they packed full of meat? Are they
No.
robust? Are they?
No, they're not robust.
Oh man,
And
this
they're
is-
not. It's an Italian bread. The bread's good. It's shaved steak,
which is fantastic.
and then whatever you want: mushrooms, onions, whatever. And then your form of cheese. You can have. I had provolone
I
on
was
mine.
gonna say, no, cheese
Michelle
whiz
had
or
provolone and mushrooms. I had provolone and onions. And Holly actually got the cheese whiz.
Okay.
Come to find out, Holly was the smart one.
Oh wow.
The steak's not really seasoned or flavored or anything. It's just kind of shaved, cooked steak on a bun.
They don't hit it with no Lowry's or
No,
nothing? They don't
no,
got
there's
the
no
shaker?
no sauce, no gravy, no nothing. It's just dry as plain as cheese.
Because like I like a cheesesteak with a little lettuce and a little Italian dressing on it. something
no, you don't get that, brother.
like that. Oh man.
And then there's a condiment
for
station:
50. What's in that? Like
mustard,
jardiniere?
ketchup, relish, and some peppers. Of course, I grabbed some peppers. You know,
Something.
So it's a
Was
dry...
there places to eat, like picnic tables or something?
Yeah, but at first we didn't have one. We were just standing. The side of the building has a little ledge, so we're standing on a ledge eating. And a lady with her children left, and we took that and
You
sat
guys
down.
slid over.
Yeah, I will give them credit. The fries are great. Their fries are McDonald's level,
Okay.
and then they pour cheese whiz over them. So those are good. Those are good. But the cheese
But
steaks,
you walked 6 blocks, paid $50,
Yes.
and are struggling to flavor this crap.
yes.
So
You've had Portillo's in Chicago, correct?
yes.
Portillo's is a 9. This
Well,
place is a 4.
To the point, Portillo's is just as crazy, like on a Sunday.
Oh
for-
yeah, it's packed. Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I mean,
But
but
Portillo's will take your credit card,
Wiggs right now would punch both of us in the face to get some,
and their cheesesteaks are actually flavorful at Portillo's.
yeah.
I mean, I was so
crazy.
let down. I was really let down. But so don't believe the hype. And I imagine
I
Pat's
think it's
is
one of
close
those
to the
things you
same
do it
one.
one time to say you did it. And you
I
keep it
never
moving.
would go back.
Wow.
Not to that. That's another thing too in Philadelphia. Even by the penitentiary, there's a place right at the corner that sells fucking cheesesteak. But I couldn't have that one because I gotta go get
Got an
Genos.
institution.
Yeah, I gotta go to the institution. Now I should just ate the one next to
Oh
the.
my god.
Yeah,
Wow.
so the biggest letdown of the trip.
So
was
that's what
probably
we
that.
did. We actually didn't have the proper cheesesteaks. We found like there was a crazy like mall arcade thing that me, Heather, and her dad ate some cheesesteaks at.
It was probably. I guarantee it probably just tastes the same as
man,
fucking
that's
Geno's did.
crazy. Wow.
So not worth the trip of that part. I know a lot of people are blasphemy. That's bull. But
Oh, wow.
maybe I got a bad batch. Maybe I got an unflavorful. It was a dry ass steak sandwich. That's all I know. I'm like, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so the one with the cheese whiz where Holly got on it was good because it actually made it moist
Softened
and
it
flavored.
up a
Yeah, I was
little
like,
bit,
all right,
yeah.
the cheese whiz kind of helps.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a letdown for me. So no on that one. But the trip all in all was a good time. We drove back Monday. Everything went good. Here's the one funny one. Last thing about Philadelphia. This isn't really Philadelphia. So when you drive those toll roads, they got those service centers.
Yes.
Service centers have somewhere to eat. And
They
some
allow
gas
you to
station.
get off without having to pay the toll to get
Yeah,
back
yeah,
on.
yeah. So that's what we did most of the time. And of course, you're going to pay the service center
The toll
bonus fee.
plaza.
Yeah. A quarter pounder meal is like $3 more than it should be.
Yeah.
So on the way back, we stopped at this one in Ohio. This is where we're going to eat lunch. It had a McDonald's in it. Most of them didn't. They had Panera Bread and Dairy Queen at most of them. I don't know, whatever. So, but Holly wants McDonald's. She lives nugs for life.
Nugs for life.
So we pull in. They have outhouses in front of the service center. All their plumbing took a crap.
Oh, literally, huh?
Yeah. So we had to use outhouses. All right, that's a little weird, but okay. Go into the service center. McDonald's is 2 girls working at the McDonald's. The line is like a block long.
Oh.
Of course, those 2 are determined to get nugs and get in line.
Yeah.
They had a pizza joint next door. I just went and got me a Stromboli. And I ate mine. So that took forever. So you think, all right, the service center can't screw us anymore. I got a quarter tank of gas left. I got to get some gas. Pull up to the gas station. The credit card machine's broke.
Jeez.
Yeah, so that was another thing. So luckily, I did win $30 at the casino, so I had $30 in cash.
Jeez.
But it was the worst service center.
Wow.
It's the second service center in Ohio after you leave Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Stay away from it. It's terrible.
It's terrible. Wow.
But other than that, it was a good trip. Philadelphia's a lot of fun. I don't think I'd be running back, but I did enjoy my time there.
I liked Philadelphia. I thought it was super cool.
Yeah, but it's nothing you want to go running back to. Right
No,
away,
but
right?
it was the place I went to without a lot of expectations. So to your point with the Genos and Pats, if you went there without expectations, you'd be like, yeah, it's a serviceable steak. And like Philadelphia, when we went there, we're like, hey, I want to do the Rocky thing. I'm a huge Balboa fan, blah, blah, blah. We just had a good time. I don't know what it was. I thought the Liberty Bell stuff was super amazing. Stumbling upon that penitentiary thing. We didn't do the zoo as you talked about, but it's one of those
allegedly
places.
the first zoo in America is what it says
wow.
on the sign. I took a picture of Holly standing next to it. I was like,
okay.
world, the country's oldest zoo.
So now, what's on the short list for your next set of travels, if you were to say?
There's 3 things. One is a West Coast cruise that includes San Francisco, Seattle, and Vancouver.
Okay.
2 is a Texas trip.
Yeah, that's high on our list right now.
And
I
then
want to see Austin real bad.
3 is for Holly. She wants to go to New York City. She wants to go bad. That'll probably be her graduation.
What is that New York City, though? I don't understand. I just didn't dig New York that much.
She has a whole list of things. There's some shopping she wants to do. There's
She needs a knockoff handbag.
There's a lot of
Like, what's
places she
going-
wants to eat.
Oh.
She wants to go. She wants to go
Wow.
there. And I've never been. I've never been to Times Square, so
Yeah.
I'd like to see it.
Oh, I thought you've been to New York before.
Upstate, like
Buffalo,
Rochester,
yeah,
Buffalo. I've
yeah.
never been to actual New York City.
It's almost like there's so much going on. It's overwhelming, if that makes sense. Like you just can't even register all the things there are to do. So it didn't hit for me. And maybe you guys have a better, but like I said, like Philadelphia having no expectations. I liked Philadelphia and Boston much better than I did New York when we went.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna like the prices in New York.
Yeah.
I don't like the prices there. Even Philadelphia, it was like that was a funny thing. Dad was telling me. He's all like, "Well, we need toll roads here, because look at places with toll roads pay less in gas tax." I go, really? Because the gas costs more in Philadelphia than I was there than it does in Michigan.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly what he's talking about there, but I don't know.
Well, and so speaking of that, like in that, I'll talk about the Bolt today as I put that in there. I pay more to register the e-vehicle because they need to get the money for the gas tax somehow.
Oh yeah.
So like your registration for an e-vehicle is 10 times more than it is to register a gas vehicle. Yeah, it's crazy.
Imagine if they made trucks into e-vehicles. How much the registration?
Yeah, like
Be
that's
$1,000,
dude. It's like that's the biggest crock of shit.
Nobody gets a break.
The short list for us is like going to Texas, and I want to see Austin and kind of go up. And then we thought we'd go into Pawhuska, Oklahoma, where the Pioneer Woman is, because Lauren is obsessed with the Pioneer Woman. So
there was one thing we were going to do in Philly, and I just didn't have enough time. I got the actual address to the Goldberg's house that they grew up in.
Oh, okay.
I didn't get time to go there.
I wonder if that's a thing.
I looked it up on a website.
Oh, that's cool.
There is a real house and the real address, but it's not in Jenkintown. It's somewhere else.
JTP.
But you can see the house. A lot of people take pictures from it.
Oh, that's cool.
I should have done that. I didn't get a chance
Yeah.
to get over there to that
It's
one.
probably like in a suburb outside they
Yeah.
use for the exterior shots or something.
So if I go back to Philly, I probably would like to see an Eagles game if I went back. To be honest,
Yeah.
I'd like to see that. I've never seen an Eagles.
Yeah,
or
watching Eagles
I'm not
fans
even into hockey, but I'd see a Flyers game.
Eagles fans are crazy.
I know that'd be
Yeah,
entertaining.
dude.
I wouldn't wear anything opposite of the
Yeah.
Eagles just to be safe. But yeah, Philly's a good time. Texas is in the Markey Brothers' future.
Yeah.
I'm gonna head to the West Coast on a trip, probably with Bill, and we're working on that right now. So vacations are always fun. Now back to reality. Now, when we were on vacation, one last thing actually, there's a weird candy shop in that World's Giant Mall, and we found some Bailey's chocolate for Kim. We bought that for her, based on the liquor.
That's cool.
And then we found this unique thing, and then you may or may not have had this.
Yeah.
This is Japanese rice candy, and I thought, well, this screams podcast if I ever seen it. It's got a
Kinda
generic
like the
little
salmon
cat.
jerky did?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and Holly and Michelle was making fun. Why would you buy that? I go, I ate salmon jerky. This asshole's eating rice.
Yeah, I'll try it.
So we got. They look like little hard candies.
So they're considered Japanese rice candy.
Yes. So they had a whole section.
So they're, first of all, they're very weird because they're
and
double wrapped.
It does come with a sticker if you need a sticker for your
Oh,
kid. There you
man.
go. I have a
Okay.
sticker. This was $3 for this little box of whatever this
Wow,
is.
well, it's imported.
Yes,
so-
and it's made from rice, obviously. Now, it is a debate. We're not sure if it's Korean or Japanese.
They're
It is soft.
soft.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought
I
it was going to
didn't-
be hard. It's really wrapped.
Yeah, it's wrapped multiple
Not a lot of
times.
sugar, only 3 grams of sugar. I always check
Means
that.
they're going to taste like crap.
Yeah, but I got the
These
plastic.
are hard to. How do I get this out of this plastic?
Are we supposed to eat the plastic?
No, right? No, I hope not. There's what? What is going on here, Steve?
I don't know. It's like plastic is stuck to it or something. It wasn't in hot weather. I'm just going to eat the plastic.
Oh my God, Steve's eating the plastic, folks.
I think it's like rice paper.
What? Am I supposed to eat it? I can't get
It's-
it off.
It's not terrible.
It tastes like nothing.
Yeah. It's like those old school gooey candies.
It tastes like nothing. It has no flavor.
I
Is
know
it
why it's only 3
orange. Is it? I get like a kind of a citrus thing.
Yeah.
It has zero flavor.
Soybeans in it. It says product with Japan, but then it also says Los Angeles, California.
That's probably who imports it or something like that. My whole take on it is just it tastes like nothing.
Yeah. It's just like some gushy thing in your mouth or gooey thing.
Yeah, it tastes like nothing.
So there's other better treats from Japan. This is not one of them.
I don't know.
Well, at least it's not disgusting quite like the salmon jerky, but at the
I
same
mean, to
time.
me, if in the same world where like Pocky sticks exist, why would I get that over Pocky sticks?
They did have a Korean or Japanese mystery box.
You
It was
should have
like
got that for us.
$35.
Oh,
So,
jeez.
so you get all these random things. I should have got that, but
Yeah. So my review on rice candy from Japan, it tastes like nothing.
a little sweet, a little.
It has no like citrus flavor, no nothing.
It's just a generic mushy thing in your mouth. That sounds kind of gross, but okay. So we'll skip the rice candies from now on.
That was very underwhelming. It wasn't even kind of gross. It just tasted like literally nothing.
I just ate the plastic. I don't know if I was supposed to. Whatever
Wow.
that inner plastic, I couldn't get it
Yeah.
off. So we have some reviews for you this week. There's some are good, some not bad. The first one I forgot to put on the list, and that's Madden 20. I've been playing that.
Oh, you have. You finally got.
I got
'cause
it
I know it's
Friday.
going to go into your rant later. I saw that.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. But
What platform did we get it
I
on?
got it on PlayStation, so that way I can play with Bill if Bill wants to play.
Oh, okay.
And Justin too, he gets it.
Okay.
I had it on Xbox last year with Christopher, but Christopher never wanted to play or anything. So I was like, well, let me get it on the one where some
Someone
guys might want to play.
check it out.
Yeah. What I usually do is I try the other modes.
Now you're playing. You don't have a pro. You have just.
No, I
big-
got a pro.
Oh, you got a pro
Yeah,
now.
I got the God of War version back in spring.
Oh, okay.
I'm
how's-
extremely cheap, so when it comes to video game consoles
Yeah.
and controllers.
You're bitching because you had to pay $2 extra for a quarter pound of cheese.
But hey, give me that $400 machine.
How's it look? What's the visuals on it?
Oh, it looks nice. Looks a lot like last year's. Not a lot of tweaks. It's not visually. I'm trying to think of anything visually stands out. Not really. It's just kind of more of the same from last
and then
year.
what was the gameplay edition that we talked about? You'd said what the big thing was.
Oh,
this year.
the X Factor.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a football fan like you are, I am, you already know these. Like, Patrick Mahomes is a improvising playmaker.
Yes.
You know Tom Brady is a general that's gonna
he can beat
orchestrate.
you with his feet, but he's got a mind.
You know Drew Brees is gonna be accurate and come back at the end. That's what it does. It enhances the star players.
Okay.
But it doesn't really stick out. So, like, a great example, I was playing against the Niners. And
can you have, like, a shutdown corner?
Yeah, Patrick Sherman is on the Niners. So he's their X factor. And you'll see him make some plays. Like, you'll throw it to one guy, he'll knock it down, or he'll hit your running back in the back. It makes sense, like you do in real life.
Okay.
But it's just a gimmick. There's nothing really.
Okay.
It's not like they become It's not like NBA jams. He's on fire and he's unstoppable. It just enhances their already normal traits. So what I do before I play the franchise mode, I usually try to play the other modes because the rosters get closer to being more updated by the beginning of the season. So they got a new feature called QB1. This is like their story mode. Basically, you're a quarterback.
Working your way up the system.
Yeah, and you only play quarterback. You don't play any other position. You don't get to control the defense or anything like that. It actually has some colleges in it. You get to pick your college. There's about 10 colleges in it. Texas, USC, Texas Tech. No Alabama or Notre Dame, and no Michigan. But no Ohio State either. It's whoever they can get a contract with. Clemson. It's about 10 teams. I picked Texas. I don't know. I took Texas. I was a quarterback at Texas. I had to play USC in the national championship. Of course, I lost. It wasn't my fault, though, because you don't control the defense. And USC just kept score. And I punted once and lost.
So did that affect your draft status?
Not really. It's kind of, you could tell it's pre-scripted. You're going to end up at because the storyline is you stepped in to take the starter's position in this playoff game, and it's the first game you've ever played, and blah 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 blah. So you end up going to the draft. You do some a lot of like Mass Effect question answering. So you just press left or right, stuff like that. And they have segments from the ESPN, some of the ESPN's talk shows talking about you and stuff like that. I get drafted in the 7th round by the Bengals. Okay. And so, and then from there, it's just kind of straightforward. You're just playing quarterback, and you're just trying to win the starting job and then win games. The only thing, it's not consistent. Like, there's a part, I got drafted in the 7th round. The character got drafted in the 7th round, and a reporter's talking to me like 3-4 weeks later. So we know you were a first-round pick. What's wrong?
No, you're just like first-round pick.
Yeah. So it's not consistent.
Yeah, that's not even like, that's a complete inaccuracy.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, what? They did proof. They did test this, right? And then it'd be parts with the announcers too. Like, I won't even throw it in. I'll throw a touchdown. He'd be like, yeah, he's trying to rebound from the last drive after throwing that pick. It's like, what?
It's just all,
It's not all the time, but it's very obvious, and it's like,
wow,
they're so wrong on that. That don't make sense.
The fact they can't fix the draft order makes no sense to me.
Yeah, and then an interviewer said that, and I'm like, so there's weird things they need to fix like that, but it's straightforward and like that. And then there's the Ultimate Team crap. I don't really play that. That's where you get packs of cards that give you your players, and if you have some money, you'll get a better team. And if you don't, you can grind like a mobile game. And I usually avoid that. I play the exhibition and stuff like that.
Where did you pick the game up at?
Best Buy.
59?
Best Buy. No, Best Buy had a deal. You trade in the old Madden, they give you the value of the Madden, which was $8.
Ooh.
And then another $10 coupon. So I got $18 off.
Okay.
This Madden. So I got $18 off, and then I
just north of 40 for it.
Yeah, which is probably what it should be to begin. To be honest with you,
sounds like a roster update.
Yeah, it really does. And there's always every new Madden when you're first playing it, some of your money plays or plays that were high percentage from the previous one.
They overcorrect.
Yeah, they overcorrect. And now you got to find, like, now this year's one.
That's all Madden is every year, though.
Yeah, you just all it is find the games, find the plays, find the
go
plays.
Online and everyone's weirdly like the Falcons. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah, no, this year it's going to be Kansas City.
Okay, everyone's Kansas City.
Yeah, everybody wants to. But the play that really works now, and it's never really worked ever, is when you're in the shotgun, you hand it off, and it's like a sweep around the outside. You ever ran that in Old Man, you lose 3 yards.
Is it like an over pursuit thing? Is that what
I don't know what it is, but that play works for like money every time. It's like good 8 yards or 20 sometimes.
Wow.
So that's the only play that's guaranteed to work. Yeah. And the other thing I don't like with the QB1 thing is they take your ability to weigh. I put a lot of guys in motion. And the funny thing is, I use the motion to help with my run blocking. I could give shit about.
You
passing.
move a guy to this side. Where
I want to move this tight. You can't control.
Guy.
You can't control the motion in the QB1 feature.
Oh.
You can still in franchise and stuff like that, but in this QB1, you got a limited playbook and you can't control the motion. It's like
because they're limiting the playbook because your rookie mind.
I don't know what it is, but I mean, it's more Madden. I'm a football fiend, so I enjoy that. And, it always takes like a week to find all the good plays. And my offense will be devastating probably in about a week. Right now, I'm still struggling a little bit. But running's a lot easier this year than last year's. It's a little more offensive this year than it was last year. Last year was a little more defensive. This one's a little. Kicking meter did not change. It's still the same kicking meter for you. But out of 10, give it about a 7.
Nothing every year just feels like a roster update.
It really does. I mean, they should just keep this.
Who's on the cover? Mahomes, right?
Yeah, Mahomes is all over it. He's in the story-driven part with the QB1. He shows up, giving you some pep talk before, which makes no sense. The guy, where'd Mahomes go? Texas Tech? Why would he be coming to a Longhorns game? Hey, I saw you play. But so there you go. That one was this week, and the other one I'm going to have a full review next week. But I'm really annoyed. It's gonna be a hate watch. Is Orange Is the New Black?
Oh,
I've made it through the first 3 episodes.
It's bad, huh?
It took all the joy out of that show.
Really?
It's super serious,
huh?
And now it's topical. I almost want a little guy to pop up in the corner, topical, and then disappear. Yeah. All of a sudden now there's ice, and they're handling deportation.
Oh wow!
I'm like, are they serious with this? And I've only made it through 3 episodes so far, but I'm not enjoying it.
That show's bad.
I'm going to make it through because it's the end, and I've committed 6 seasons already. But I'll talk about that more next weekend. Now, this week, I did finish the Titans.
You managed to get all the discs.
Yeah. Well, actually,
you streamed.
I signed up for the DC app, which I got to cancel that. Well, it's only $8, so I'm stuck with it for another month. But I am going to watch Doom Patrol on there, too. Titans was 10 episodes. Couple things it did was weird. Okay, it's darker, grittier because it's DC. It has to be darker, and grittier. But they did like 6 episodes, fine. Everything's moving. The story's moving along. And at the end of the 6th episode, one of the characters grabs the other character by the throat, and it looks like she's going to kill her. That's how the episode ends. But then the next episode doesn't pick up from there.
Oh, yeah?
It goes to a backstory of 2 other characters you haven't heard about since the second episode.
What happened over here?
Yeah. And then in the next episode after that, it goes back to the... So I was like, what the hell detour was that? And so I'm bringing that up because the last episode of this season does the same thing. Like Robin goes into this alternate universe thing with his head, and it has nothing to do with the main story, and that's how the season ends. I'm like, wait, what? So it's a good show, not a great show. I mean, if you're really into superheroes, I guess. But about a 6 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
It's not the greatest. It's just weird choices on some of the stuff. And if you're not a diehard comic fan, you're probably not going to know what a lot of that stuff is.
Wow.
That's happening. Yeah, I imagine, because I had to explain a lot of stuff to Michelle. So I imagine if you sat through it, you'd be like, what the hell is even going on? You'll get Robin, you'll get Gotham, you'll get stuff like that. But outside of that, you're like, huh? So it is a little weird. Now, this other one, it came out back in January, and we caught it actually on cable. Widows. Have you heard about this?
No, I don't know nothing about it.
It's Octavia Spencer. She's the one who's in...
yeah, I know who she is. She's the one who pooped in the pie.
No, actually, that's a different girl. The one I was on the Suicide Squad that played the main bad woman. She was in How to Get Away with Murder. She's the main woman there. It's not Octavia Spencer. It's somebody else. I can't think of her name. You'll recognize...
The one who always ugly cries all the time?
Yeah, and she's always usually pretty
name?
straightforward and mean. She's in this. She's married to Liam Neeson in this.
Is this the one where he got all like the racist thing about?
No, that was that Snow one.
Oh.
This is a different. Well, he can't be racist about this one. He married a black woman in this one. Just type in actually widows. I don't know if the murder one's going to be good. Widows IMDb. That's her there.
Viola Davis.
Viola Davis. I was so wrong on that name. Well, I mean, the reason I'm bringing this movie up, and I did miss it in the theaters, and I didn't see it on DVD. It was actually better than I thought it was going to be. Not great. Don't get me wrong. You're not going to sit through it and go, Steve's crazy. It's not good. Viola Davis is married to Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson is kind of a crook. He's a thief. He runs a crew. Liam Neeson ends up dead with 2 of his other boys all end up dead. And her being her husband and then his wife, and then 2 other girls that were married to the other 2 guys, they are forced into doing whatever heist he was trying to do.
Okay.
Because reasons, I don't know. Colin Farrell's in it too. And it just begs a big caper movie, and then it's some twists and turns, and I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But it's a good cable movie, I'll say that.
Okay,
I wouldn't run it on DVD.
So,
but it was
Steve's
on
review
cable.
is Widows is cable.
Yeah, if you're sitting up on HBO late one night, and they're playing the crap out of it, yeah, watch it. It's probably not that bad. And next one, 6 out of 10 window.
Is this this is Seth Rogen one?
Seth Rogen and Charlize Theron.
Yeah, okay.
She is a super hot Secretary of State under a president who is the guy from Better Call Saul. I can't think of his name right now. Everyone knows him. Odenkirk is his name.
Bob
Odenkirk. He's the president. But he's a former actor. He wants to go back to being acting, so he's telling her in private that he's gonna quit the president. He's not gonna reelect, and he's gonna endorse her for being president.
Okay.
She needs some good people to write speeches for her. Seth Rogen is a former journalist, and she knew him when they were growing up as kids, so she hires him to write her speeches. And then, of course, romantic comedy takes place from there. Not a horrible movie. I don't know what you think about romantic comedies.
I like Seth Rogen.
I do. I like him. A little raunchier than expected.
Oh, yeah?
There's a scene where he's jerking off and hits himself in the chin with the,
Oh.
So that's pretty. Never thought that. A little raunchier than expected. And of course, Seth Rogen had to weasel in some drug humor because that's what he's got to do. As far as a romantic comedy goes, it's enjoyable. 7 out of 10, maybe. Charlize Theron, she's good. Just kind of by the numbers romantic comedy. It doesn't do anything different or anything crazy.
I think by the result of it too, because it kind of came and went in the theater. So
yeah. I like him. I like her. They're an odd couple in that. It's like you don't think a chick. They don't seem like they would actually end up being a couple in real life, but it's a movie.
Is the long shot based on him actually getting with her? Is that the
and she's the long shot to become the next president too. So it's kind of both of them at the same time. Now this next one I really enjoyed. This is the best show on Amazon Prime. And that's not saying much. But
this is better than the Miss Maisel one that everyone.
By far.
What is the premise of this show? This is the one they renewed.
You might actually like this.
They renewed it before it even premiered or something crazy.
Imagine a world where there's really superheroes and they're run by a giant conglomerate corporation like Disney.
Okay.
And behind the scenes, they're all actual kind of dicks and terrible people. So it's like if the Justice League was evil, but no one really knew it. They put on a fake front to the public.
So it's all like public relations that they're actually good people, but they're actually like shitty people.
Yeah, this is called The Boys on Amazon. Carl Urban, he's the head of The Boys. He's his name is Billy Butcher in it, and there's 3 other guys. He's former CIA. His job is to take down the superheroes that are getting out of line and breaking the law. And he's got a personal revenge case against one of them for his wife and stuff like that. It's pretty violent. There's a lot of gratuitous nudity, and it's funny. Simon Pegg's in it. Elizabeth Shue's in it.
Simon Pegg being Shaun of the Dead and all that kind
Star
of stuff.
Trek. He was in that.
Yeah.
He's a big sci-fi.
Elizabeth Shue, like the 80s Elizabeth
Yeah,
Shue.
she
look
runs.
hot?
She runs the Disney.
How's she look?
Oh, she looks like Elizabeth Shue that's my age.
Oh,
So
okay.
I mean, got some wrinkles and stuff, but it looks fine. She's a main character in it. And Carl Urban is. It's just some over the top stuff. It's only 8 episodes, and there's no like filler episode. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, everything goes towards the main story and it moves along smooth. Michelle really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. You don't really have to know anything about superheroes. It's really good. I highly recommend it. Best thing on Amazon. Probably beats out Jack Ryan.
Like I said, people really enjoyed it so much so that they already renewed it and stuff like that. So
they're smart. They should keep that one around.
Wow.
Yeah. So I liked it a lot. 8 episodes, tight. You can't watch it with your kids. Like Lorna was over, so we made sure Lorna and Holly were in the back room. So, a lot of cussing, nudity, violence, the whole thing. Drug abuse. Some of the superheroes are druggies, and it's good. I really liked it. I can't talk too much about it because I'll probably ruin a lot of the storyline. But if you like or don't like superheroes, it's a whole new take on them, and it's pretty funny. So give it a chance. The Boys, if you have Amazon Prime. Now, there's not much. Wrestling, for 3 minutes of wrestling. WWE, stuff like that. It was AEW still waiting. There's a little thing. There was an interview with Scott Steiner, who's not all there.
Oh, he took some CTE or something?
Yeah, he's not. He's a loony dude.
Oh.
But he was mentioning the WWE Hall of Fame. Now, all these years, are you familiar with that, right?
Yeah.
Every year, right around WrestleMania, they induct 4 or 5 people into the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
I always assumed somewhere in Connecticut there was a
attached to like the headquarters.
Yeah, there was a WWE. Come to find out, there is no WWE Hall of Fame.
This led you down a whole rabbit hole of like, wait,
yeah. So then I started searching for the WWE Hall of Fame, the address for it. There isn't one. It's just kind of like an honorary thing. They all get rings and stuff.
But you can't. I think that's a misstep from the company not to monetize and merchandise and do all that.
Yeah, like, you can make tour money and stuff like
wow.
that. Unless they have a little section in their corporate office somewhere in Connecticut no one's aware of. There is no WWE Hall of Fame, but everyone gets inducted to it. Now, I may be wrong. Maybe there's some diehard guy out there that's been to it and says, oh, no, it's there. From what I understand, before WrestleMania, they do like what the NFL does. They bring the WWE Interactive World or whatever. So they do set up some kind of Hall of Fame like Andre the Giant statue.
Yeah, but why is there not me? You could monetize that. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
I'm not Vince McMahon as far as business wise, but
we can go to.
I can get money out of you nerds that are into it. You know
I can go to the Baseball Hall of Fame, the Hockey Hall of Fame, and the Football Hall of Fame.
Interactive exhibits and all this kind of stuff. You set up a real ring and then have I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah, that seems like a missed opportunity, right?
Yeah. So Christopher works at the Ark in Kentucky, but we don't have a real pro wrestling Hall of Fame.
Yes.
It's a little weird.
Yeah, but then there is one in Wichita Falls, Texas.
Yeah, but this
is like an independent.
Like
Carrie Von
some
Erichs.
BV's running this.
AWA.
Yeah.
Here's a piece of someone's jockstrap. But yeah, so I fell in a rabbit hole about the Hall of Fames. I could not find an address. So there is a real one in Wichita Falls probably for independent wrestling, but no WWE Hall of Fame.
That's interesting. I'll be honest with you. That's to me, I just attach it to the world headquarters on the building right there. Wow.
I always said I'd go out there and see it if they had it, but apparently they don't have it, so I don't have to worry about that. And then the other thing, because of the stock has been dropping, and he blamed it on injuries, Vince McMahon did.
Last time. But they're saying he's running out of that excuse.
Yeah. So now he's asking for more promotion and more.
He's not in a place to ask for more promotion from NBC because of what's going on with this product, though. That was my thing as I read that. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Well,
you don't exactly have all the bargaining power.
Well, he's claiming some of the ratings are slipping because they don't get promoted like they used to on USA and NBC like they used to.
Wow.
Because NBC owns USA. So,
so
they're kind of shifting some of the blame for the low ratings.
Oh.
So there's something there.
Refuse to blame the product, man.
Yeah.
All in, no matter what.
AJ Styles is another one who got in a fight, not a fight, but argument online. People were harassing him about how bad the product was.
What did he say?
He kind of blamed the fans. It's not the product. He towed the company line instead of. So they've been feeling some heat lately.
Which is, it goes back to the AEW conversation that you and I had. That company right now is completely floundering. If AEW could just put out a decent quality product, they could really do a great job at snatching away a big chunk, but they are just missing their opportunity.
And one last note I didn't put on there, a friend of the podcast, Terry Guerin, has signed a new contract with Impact Wrestling.
Oh, okay.
I think they're headquartered in Florida, Orlando, Florida. They used to be TNA. They're now Impact. Not a lucrative deal, I'm almost positive.
Has he got to move the marina down to Florida? Like, how does that work?
I don't know how that works.
Oh, man.
I think he leaves that here and then just during the winter goes and wrestles. So he showed up with a lot of ECW guys at Impact Wrestling. So he's back wrestling for at least another 2 or 3 years.
Well, good for him. Pay them bills. He's got a marina to pay off.
Well, I don't think he makes all that much money, but he in interviews he's claimed that he just wanted to contribute. He's one of those diehards about the business and stuff, and wants to help the younger guys. So he passed up a big chunk of money from the WWE to sit at home. See, we're definitely cut from different cloths. I had a company paying me a lot of money to just sit at home.
Like, let me know if you need me.
I got a lot of hobbies, man. I'm out, but some people don't want to do that. So there's a little look. Like I said, I'll give you a little awkward, weird, different kind of wrestling news than your standard. SummerSlam is coming up in a couple weeks. I don't know if anyone's looking forward to that. Nothing great has really shown up, but there we go. So now we got the rapid fire before Charles falls asleep.
Dude, I'm telling you. Too many days.
Some of the stuff, not a lot of big movies coming out in August, but there is one that hit this week, and nobody wanted to go up against it because nothing else came out, is Hobbs and Shaw.
The Dwayne The Rock Johnson vehicle.
This is rapid fire. We're going to give you
this is Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw.
This is a spin-off of Fast and the Furious. This looks absolutely terrible. I love The Rock. I mean, he's a likable. I like Jason Statham. I like Idris. I like everybody in this movie, but I don't want to see this movie. I want to see him in other movies, but not this one. Hobbs and Shaw, presented by Fast and Furious. It's allegedly it's going to start even more, that they're going to bring in even more people, and they're just going to go a whole. So you got the 8 or 9 Fast and Furious, which John Cena is now part of Fast and Furious.
He looks so odd.
And now the Hobbs and Shaw they're going to make 3 or 4 Hobbs and Shaw movies, depending on how this one does. We'll have to.
I think it's made a mint.
Yeah, we'll have to check the box office next week when we come back.
It already got like good reviews too.
I don't know how it could. It looks so bad.
Dude,
so I'm a no. I don't want to see this. I'll see it on DVD and then still shake my head the whole time I watch it.
I'm a huge no. I don't want to see this at all. It looks like a bad CG movie. I'm out. I haven't watched a Rock movie in a while. I know Ballers is coming back soon. I'll watch that.
I'm trying to think of the last thing I watched him in.
Because what, Skyscraper?
I saw Skyscraper on cable the last 20 minutes, and it was god awful.
I don't want to see any of those.
Whoa. Now, new on Blu-ray, I already watched it and kind of ruined it earlier, so I'm a yes. Is Long Shot with Seth Rogen, Charlize Theron.
I'll wait for HBO for it and catch on there.
No, I'm probably not hurting there. Tolkien, this is that movie about
J.R.R. Tolkien.
J.R.R. Tolkien, where he went to the war and got inspiration for the Lord of the Rings books. It looks interesting. I'll probably watch it, Charles.
I'm a maybe on this one. Like, it depends on if there's anything else that's hitting for me, but I probably would check it out, though.
The guy who plays the Beast from X-Men First Class is the one who plays Tolkien.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, he's up-and-coming young kid. This other one was a sci-fi show. It's now canceled. It's called Deadly Class. I don't know what it was. Michelle watched the whole season, actually. She enjoyed it. I'm not a big fan, so I'm a no. It was like, I can't think. The guy from Doctor Strange that plays Wong, he taught them all. It was almost like a School of Assassins type deal thing.
I'm a what? I don't know what this is. It sounds terrible. I don't know how it's on the list.
Michelle says she liked it, except there was one episode where they did a musical episode, which made no sense. But yeah, it was like all assassins, but it got canceled. Nobody picked it up, so you can get it on DVD, the season 1, Deadly Class. I'm still a comic book slappy. I'm still a cartoon slappy. Batman Hush, the animated movie's coming out. This was a big series in the early 2000s. There's a new villain for Batman called Hush. He was a doctor from Bruce Wayne's past. He has a trench coat and bandaged face. I'm a yes. I love these things. I watch them all the time, and then I complain about them when they suck. So, and Charles?
I'm a no.
I already knew it by the look on his face. So there you go. And new on streaming this week. I like this show. I find it entertaining. Long as they stick with the happy stuff. If they start to get too serious, like Orange is the New Black, I'm going to bail. Glow, Season 3 on Netflix is back. I will probably watch that.
Super popular on Netflix, but I'm a no. I did not like the first season. It did not. I'm not into it.
I didn't care for the first season that much, but the second season went towards the more humor and joy. You know what I'm saying? Like laughs. First season I felt was way too serious. I don't know what they were trying there in the first season. This is football season 1. This is Amazon. It's basically a big documentary type thing about all the different types of football people play across the country. I'm into football.
Was it like 8-man or 7-man and all that kind of stuff? What is it?
I don't know all the details. I couldn't tell you. I should have looked it up better. I don't know. It looks terrible. I'm a no. It didn't look good. It looked like
It's
very low.
Amazon, so I'm a no.
I've seen so many football documentaries and stuff, and that one did not look intriguing. Into the Dark. This is kind of like a horror movie for teenagers. It looks like if the CW made a horror show, this is what this looks like. It's on Hulu. I'm a no.
Just assume I'm a no for everything at Rapid Fire this week.
Yeah, Charles.
Tolkien's about the only one that kind of ticks the radar.
I mean, it's the summer. You know, some of the stuff is Carnival Row. This is with. This is coming out. This is this got a lot of hype behind it. Orlando Bloom's in it. It's kind of like trying to think, like fairies and stuff are kind of back in like the 1920s, but they're alive and they're being mistreated in the real world. It's kind of a little bit like that Will Smith movie that came out on Netflix, but this takes place back in like late 1800s, early 90s. I think it's called Carnival Row. Orlando Bloom. It looks neat. It's got some really good visuals. My wife loves this kind of stuff, so I'll probably watch it with her. Carnival Row on Amazon.
On Amazon, I'm a no.
No. There we go. And then finally for games, I had to put this on there because this is funny, and Charles loves Warhammer. Warhammer 40,000 Inquisitor Martyr Prophecy. I think this is the DLC for the game we covered about a month or two ago where we all go, Warhammer games suck. Yeah, so I'm a no. I'm good on that.
And I'm a no. Warhammer, no.
Yeah. And then finally, these are popular with these little Japanese role-playing games called Harvest Moon, Light of Hope. It's coming out for the Switch and PS4.
I don't play Dragon Quest games. I don't play Harvest Moon games. I don't play Fire Emblem games. No.
Yeah, and this is along those lines, so big no on that as well.
Monster Hunter, no.
So, in between all our vacations, Charles, you did go out and you bought something. And why don't you tell everybody?
Yeah, so I've been talking about it for a few weeks, and I figured this week would be a good week. So I finally want to talk about, I bought a 2019 Chevy Bolt LT. I didn't buy the Premier. The Premier is the crazier trim level of it, but this is Chevy's complete e-vehicle. So this is a car that is pure battery. It has no engine in it. Unlike the Chevy Volt, which has the combustion engine coupled with the battery packs that are in it, this thing doesn't even have that ability. So it cost me $39,000 for this car. I bought it. I don't like to lease vehicles, as Steve and I have kind of talked about in the past. The nice part was, so basically, because Trump got in office and he eliminated the friggin' tax rebate on e-vehicles. He cut it in half. So at this point, I get a $3,500 federal tax credit at the end of the year, or whatever incentive. It's not called a credit, but for buying an e-vehicle. The problem is that caused a lot of dealerships to have a lot more stock. They're just not moving them the way that they did. So the nice part is I got 0% interest on the buy for this car because of that reason. So that actually worked out. I put a few $1,000s down, and my payment's right at $500 on the button. It's pretty
like a
crazy.
truck payment.
Yeah, but the nice part is this. So again, with it being a complete e-vehicle, I get 250 miles of range on a full charge in this car. On a typical household charger, that takes all night to be a full charge. I'll talk about here in a second how I'm actually going about charging and pulling cheese on how I charge my car and all that kind of stuff. But it's a pretty decent range. I haven't had any range anxiety. The nice part about the car, and Steve joked about it, but it's just like my original Honda Fit, but it's just an electric version of my Honda Fit. So it's kind of a very similar car. The nice part about it, with it being an e-vehicle, there's no maintenance attached to it. So every 7,500 miles, all I got to do is rotate the tires and then change the cabin air filter. That's the only thing it requires. There's no oil changes. There's no anything to check on this actual vehicle. But with it, I had to install, I bought a $200 Type 2 charger for the house. So many moons ago, when I ran the power to my garage, I put a 240-volt circuit out there for maybe at this point happening. So I'm lucky enough to have the skills to know how to put that in, but you got to figure the average homeowner doesn't know how to do that. So the issue is going to be with the adoption of these e-vehicles. How do you charge the goddamn thing? It would take like 2 days to charge this thing on a household outlet. Like they come with a 120-volt outlet, like a standard wall plug. it literally would take you like 36 hours on a standard wall plug to charge this thing. So I don't even know how that's feasible. But the nice part about it, Chevy does this thing in it, which is called, and anyone who's well versed in like e-vehicles, it has regenerative braking. What that means is you basically use the car's electric gear motor to slow the car down. So in the Chevy Bolt, you have two different ways of putting it into drive. You can do a regular standard drive where you're using a gas pedal and a brake, or you can do this one pedal driving. So what that means is as I let off the gas, it goes into that regenerative braking mode really harshly, and it sends a lot more of that juice or that kinetic energy of you driving back into the battery pack. So you can actually, if you're really good with it, you can actually extend that range up to 10-15% longer just by doing these tricks of like understanding the regenerative braking. And in the Chevy Bolt too, it also has a paddle brake up top. So like that's another way that they call it regeneration on demand, where you can pull this. So the nice part with that being said, I can pretty much drive the car without using the friction brakes on it. So like you can drive my Bolt, like I've got about 1,000 miles on it now. 2/3 of that I've driven this one pedal way, so I never have to actually worry about the brakes on it. The other thing that's kind of crazy that Steve was noticing, it comes with a huge touchscreen on the inside of it. It's got like a 10-inch touchscreen on this thing. It does the Android Auto and the Apple CarPlay. Anyone who's got a phone nowadays can hook right to it, and it looks really nice. So I'm a big proponent of that. The nice part is the car's smart enough that if you plug in an Apple, it goes right to the Apple thing and Android and all that kind of stuff. But the other thing is there's a great app called PlugShare. PlugShare is actually how you can find those public space e-vehicle charging that exists around us all the time. A lot of people think that Teslas are cool because they have it built into the head unit of the car, but you actually don't. Just an app on the phone does the same thing. Plus, it shows you all the chargers that are available in your area. The other thing I noticed too, I get screwed by Chevy Volt drivers all the time. GM must have sold 1 billion Chevy Volts. Because I'm telling you, every time I try to pull up and park my car and charge at an e-vehicle spot, there's a Chevy Volt sitting there every time. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because we're in Michigan or what it is. But, man, they sold the shit out of that car is all I'm saying. Because, like, so just today I charged my car, and I'm lucky enough to charge it at work. 3 out of 4 spots, Chevy Volts. And then 1 spot was open where I could pull my car into it. It's just the craziest thing.
What? Are they charging you at these public places?
So in that PlugShare app, it tells you if there's a charge or if it's free. I have yet to pay to charge my car. And like I said, I have 1,000 miles on the car. It's free at work at the airport for me. It's free over here in Dearborn for me. I haven't even charged it in the house yet. So I installed that crazy charger in the garage. I still have yet to charge it at my house.
As my next question was, how much has your electric bill gone up?
Not a dime, because I'm a cheap bastard.
Charge it home.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough. And again, my situation is a little unique. Steve, if he had it via Metro, I mean, maybe you can convince Randy with some tax incentives to put an e-vehicle charger
Well,
in.
he don't own the building, so
yeah. So I'm just saying, like, it's great. I don't know when these businesses are going to get wise to this. Like, at some point, you figure someone's paying for that electrical, but it ain't me. That's all I know. Yeah. And they charge really high amperage, too, like 16, 20 amps and stuff like that. You're pulling some serious juice through that cord, so I don't know.
If you did do it at home, how much do you think it would affect?
Well, I know that it's based on like kilowatts and stuff like that. Everything I was reading about online and stuff like that is it takes typically about $9 to $10 to completely charge your car at your house. So factor that in accordingly. So whatever the 250 miles, $9 to $10.
So really, the only downside of your electric car is you really couldn't take it on a road trip.
Yeah. So this weekend we went out of town. Not this weekend, but the past few days I went out of town. We took the Mini Cooper, and the reason why I wanted to take my car, but because I had to be back early Saturday morning, I couldn't, and I was going to leave it at an outlet mall across the street from the hotel, plug it in, but there wasn't enough time. Because again, that's one of the things with this is you got to factor in, not all chargers are built the same. What I mean by that is just because it's got the white like cartridge, the Type 2 connector in it, doesn't mean you can get the same amount of energy through the cable, if that makes sense. So like at work, I'm able to hook into a 30 amp charger. It charges real fast at work. Whereas at like over here in the Ford garage, I'm half that. So like not all chargers are kind of created equal is what I would tell you. The other thing I hate about buying a new car, and I put this as a note on here, why do they got to, okay, I told the dude, I'm not paying $1. Literally my payment is $500 to the dime. It's like $500. And they bring you over to the salesperson who tries to like get you to do it. And I'm like, no.
Yeah. You want the wheel package?
Yeah, I'm not getting anything. No.
You want the rust person?
So then, like the sales guy's
Extended
like,
warranty?
you do me a favor, sir. You have to hit the OnStar button. I won't do it. I won't hit that OnStar button. I'm not putting a credit card in. I don't want to even run the risk of 3 months from now forgetting that I have OnStar service because, like we talked about in the past, only BV uses OnStar.
Yeah.
No one else on the planet Earth uses OnStar. It's crazy. So I just hate that about new cars and all this kind of stuff. But so far, I've had this car for a month and a half-ish at this point.
You have satellite radio?
I have satellite radio, but I have not put any information in it. So I will not.
You get it free for like 6 months, right? That's what I got.
But I'm just telling you, at the
I
end of that 6 months,
yeah, that's what I do.
No.
I catch up on Howard Stern for about 6 months,
Yeah.
and then it's done.
I refuse to. They just want to nickel and dime you.
Yeah.
It's the
Every
craziest
place does.
thing. So it's like, no, I'm not doing any of that. So anyway, I'm Mr. Green Technology, and now I got an e-vehicle to go along with it. And so far, I love it. Like, it's been a really nice. But Steve brought up a great point. We got to see a Michigan winter before you really judge what it's like. Because what you don't realize is to heat a car with electric batteries takes a lot of juice. So it might tear through a lot of that battery and stuff like that, too. So big fan of the Chevy Bolt. So I'm a big fan of it and love it so much.
Head on down to your local dealer right now. You can get 0% financing, baby.
Yeah,
if
through
you
GM
get the right dealer.
Financial. Yeah.
That's the other thing I was going to tell you about Philadelphia. On the way there, on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, there must be a giant Subaru dealer somewhere.
Why? There's just tons of Subarus?
I've never seen so many Subarus in my life.
That was like when we went to Florida. I'd never seen so many Nissans in my life. I was like, what, does everyone drive a Nissan here? Like, what is this?
Someone in Pennsylvania, there must be a really huge Subaru dealer somewhere
Hustling,
in Pennsylvania.
man,
Because
yeah.
I was like, there's another Subaru. There's another Subaru. And they all look like a station wagon kind of looking thing. I don't know.
They have a definite look to a Subaru.
You just don't see them around here very
Subarus a
often.
lot are like all-wheel drive, too, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you just don't see them in Michigan very often. And then apparently go to Pennsylvania if you want a Subaru.
Yeah.
So what's new with MMA since I'm a little out of the loop?
Yeah, so, and again, I talk every week about the randomness it is. So UFC had a good fight night. The number 2 welterweight, this Colby Covington, fought Robbie Lawler. This was in New Jersey. Now, the reason why you talk about MMA is going full WWE. So Colby Covington found a niche way to be weird. So he's the Make America Great Again guy. The Trump kids were in attendance at this UFC fight night, cheering this guy on. The president tweeted about him and all this kind of stuff. So he's found his angle, and his angle apparently, because he's from California. You know what I mean? Like,
There's no way he's Republican.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm like, what is there, like 10 Republicans in all of California?
Yeah.
Anyway, he wanted a decision, and it was very loud. It only went to a decision because Robbie Lawler's a crazy person, because he got whooped. I mean, there was no doubt about who was winning this fight. I mean, that Colby Covington, this sets up for he's going to fight Usman for the world, the welterweight title and all this kind of stuff. It just sets up for that, so you can see where it's going from there. The other big thing, too, was 2 old-school veterans fought. A guy named Jim Miller, he submitted Clay Guida in, like, round 1 in, like, a minute. And Clay Guida literally passed out on the freaking mat. Like, lift his arm out cold, dude. Like, starving blood to the brain type shit.
I did not quit that sport after that.
Dude, and he's, like, 37.
Oh,
dude, he's getting choked out to pass out at 37 years old.
He got $25 for that fight.
Dude, I'm telling you. So there's a big UFC fight night coming up this weekend. Steve's favorite, a couple chicks are fighting. It's in Uruguay. I don't know how big UFC is in Uruguay, but anyway. Valentino Shevchenko is fighting this chick named Liz Carmouche, and that's a pretty decent chick fight. I don't know. Steve's still not into his chick fight. He's out.
I saw
And then the other thing, too, next Saturday, join us on this fantastic Facebook Live because Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 7 will be happening. We'll have to hit BV up midweek, see if he wants to join us like we did last time. It's actually free this time, so we don't have to pay or nothing. They're probably trying to get the product out there so people could see. So, been an interesting weekend, but yeah, the Trump stuff was pretty funny. I was like, man, he's working an angle in UFC.
Last time we talked, was Chris Cyborg going to fight? When did she fight?
Yeah, she fought, and then she actually won. So
did she dominate?
She didn't really dominate, but she definitely won. But it didn't matter because they're still not going to give her the Amanda Nunes fight. And then her and Dana White kind of went back and forth. It's a whole weird thing, and then Dana White had to walk some comments back, and that part of chick fight, I just don't care. So, but anyway, that's your UFC for the week or two.
And
actually,
bare knuckle fighting next Saturday.
Check in with us on Saturday.
Know where I'll be Saturday night. Watching some bare knucks, air popcorn. So we got a little news, not much this week, but the one that really stuck out to me as far as geekdom goes and stuff like that. A 16-year-old, I should have wrote his name down. I didn't write his name down.
This was a big deal.
Booga, I think his name is. Is it World Cup Booga? No, I don't know what it is. Won $3 million for a Fortnite tournament.
Yeah.
$3 million.
Jesus, soak that in, people.
Wow, that's a lot of loot. At 16 years old?
Well, they say esports, man, and I can't watch people play video games. I can't do it. I know everyone plays Fortnite, though, so there's got to be a ton of money in it.
I mean, Fortnite's made by EA Sports or Electronic Arts. So they got the money to put up. So not all games are going to pay you that much. But because there was an Evo thing this weekend. I kind of loosely follow. I don't watch it, but big fighting.
Evo being fighting games.
Yeah, a big fighting tournament. And Street Fighter actually announced some news. They're going to bring out E-Honda finally.
Yeah, I saw your tag. I got that text.
Yeah, E-Honda and a couple.
Because I told Heather, I go, "Oh, Steve sent me E-Honda's in there." And she goes, "Who the hell's that?"
How should I know the sumo? He's only been in it for 35 years. Yeah. And the sumo dive. So yeah, so Fortnite really paid out the money to this kid. I mean, if that doesn't boost some interest into Fortnite now, kids are gonna be like, "I can win $3 million. I can get back to Fortnite."
Yeah.
I don't know what they're playing right now.
I would argue you don't have to boost the interest in Fortnite, though, too.
Yeah, well, it's been waning a little bit.
Oh, it has?
Yeah, Holly's been saying a lot of kids have been off that, and I don't know what the
What are
name
they
of it.
doing? Yeah.
Not PUBG. Damn it, what's the MOBA?
Apex Legends?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, one of the MOBA games. So very interesting. So if your kid wants to be a video game player, maybe not discourage them.
Oh, okay. Because this one kid won one time.
That's right. I'm gonna see Lorna in the Mario Kart finals.
Yeah, I heard she's all about it.
She makes $2 million on Mario Kart. Man, Charles Bad. Never mind. Keep playing. The next one. Are you familiar with Andy Serkis?
He's the guy who CG'd Gollum and King Kong.
Yeah, and all the Planet of the Apes movies, pretty much. He's actually becoming a little bit of a director. He directed that Jungle Book movie, which...
I thought that was Jon Favreau who did Jungle Book.
No, there's two Jungle Books. He directed the one not by Disney.
Okay.
That was on Netflix. And while it looked nice, it wasn't the greatest of movies.
Oh, okay.
But he is apparently in the running to direct Venom 2.
The next another Tom Hardy one?
Yes.
Is it basically?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
people like the first one. I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't bad.
But you're just bringing it up because you're like, okay, he's apparently a director now.
Yeah, he's transitioning a little bit from acting and motion capting acting to a little bit of directing. Because he did some animated movie too. I can't remember which one he directed. He directed 2 or 3 films now, so this will be like his 4th.
But that's a big deal.
That's
he
probably
can make
the biggest one
in
he'll have.
theory. Yeah.
So there's a little bit of the news. Nothing too great. Like I said, we stay away from politics. I don't really care. A lot of Democratic debates this past week.
In Detroit.
Everyone's still fighting on Joe Biden. They just don't like him. So who knows what's going to happen there. They got to whittle down some of those. Don't they have to just have like an elimination round or something like this? We got to get.
Well, how do you do it? Like 2 men enter, 1 man leave?
Yeah, I don't know. We're all going to vote. We're going to vote some of you out. They need a tribal council.
The world we live in.
They need a tribal council for the Democratic candidates. Let's vote some of these people out. Now, I have a rant. Charles has a rant, too. But my first one, going back to the Madden. Before this Madden release, I don't know if you caught it. Some people did. There were so many versions of this Madden that I had to look twice to be like, which... Okay, so there's a standard one with Patrick Mahomes on the cover.
That's $60.
$60, standard version, whatever. Then there's the Superstar Edition.
What is that?
Superstar Edition comes with, it's all that Ultimate Team based stuff. It's really what it is. Superstar Edition comes with 2 gold packs of the Ultimate Team, and you got the game 3 days early. So the game came out on the 2nd. You got it, the 29th, something like that. Yeah. So that's what the Superstar, and it's a different picture of Patrick Mahomes on the cover of that one. And that's $79.99. Then on top of that, the Ultimate Superstar Edition, where you got 2 or 3 legend packs for your Ultimate Team.
Do I get a steel book or any of these?
No, none of them are steel books. Another different picture of Patrick Mahomes on the cover.
Oh man!
And this was $99. You also got that one 3 days early as well. Now there's also the digital copy version, the Windows version.
There's a Windows version of Madden at this
Madden
point?
is back on PC.
This is the first year of that?
Last year was.
Oh, okay.
So it's back on PC, which someone modded it to make it look like college football.
Oh, okay. I was going to say that opens them up to like roster updates that people are shoehorning in. I bet. And stuff like that.
So I might have to invest in the Windows version every time. But
you can play with a 360 controller. Xbox
and
One,
Xbox One too. I mean, this is the state we're in with video games. I'm kind of used to it, but Madden hasn't really been doing that too much.
$10 per premium.
Yeah,
too.
and it's all card based, so you get more packs of those cards. Yeah. That's a big moneymaker for them. But so too many goddamn versions of Madden, like I said in the notes, it's just too much. But anyways, and then
do you get a mini helmet with any of them?
No, there's nothing cool. That's like I say, you don't get a jersey, you don't get a helmet, you don't even get a steel book. Put something in there. Wow. All you get is virtual game packs. Don't even get E-Honda.
Yeah, no E-Honda. Yeah, so the thing I just wanted to bitch about or rant about today, these people and their destination weddings. Okay, destination weddings are the shittiest, most annoying weddings on the planet. No. I'm sure you loved this up north location when you were a kid or something.
Beautiful.
It's so stupid. To do this to your guests is a nightmare. Because, to go out of town for us, Steve and Holly were lucky enough, or were helpful enough to actually watch Lorna. You got to find a babysitter.
Give all the credit to Holly. She did 99% of the watching.
Okay.
I just
But anyway, so we had to find a place to ship Lorna to. Then we got to find a hotel room. Then you got to get all the way up there. Then you got to figure out. No one knows the local area. So it's like you don't know where anything's at.
Where was this?
It's on Gun Lake. It's south of Grand Rapids, kind of in between Grand Rapids and Holland.
I went to the casino there.
Yeah, the Gun Lake Casino. Yeah,
Michelle won like $300 there.
I was up 100 at one point.
Oh, yeah. We went to the casino. At least there was a casino there.
Well, what made you go there?
We took that trip to Holland, and I was like, well, on the way back, I got to enjoy this trip somehow. We'll go to a casino.
Oh, okay.
So we went there and gambled.
It's right on that little 6 and everything like that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Heather yelled at me because I'm like, okay, to me, when you have an out-of-town wedding or a destination wedding, it should be reflected in your gift. I'm sorry, to me, I should give you way less because it costs me way more to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that is true. Yeah.
I just, and I'm sure, if it's one thing if you're going to Costa Rica or something, I can get a full week vacation out of this deal or something like that. But Northern Michigan,
and this situation, to be clear, wasn't family. This was just friends.
Even if it's family, it's annoying. It's one of those things, man, where I'm just not into it.
Well, I'll be honest. I'm going to a destination wedding in February.
Okay,
but it's Vegas, so. It's cool with me.
I
mean, if you get to go somewhere cool.
Yeah, I guess. I just, it's
a
lot.
Reason to go to Vegas.
What's that?
Gives me a reason to go to Vegas.
Yeah, and that's, I guess, if I'm going to go into somewhere where, okay, I can go and have a vacation, that's a whole other conversation. This was middle of the mitt on some Lake Michigan. You know what I mean? It just was a pain in my ass. And it's
not
dude,
a lot of stuff to do there.
And then you get kind of old and stuck in your ways, and then I got to figure out, like you said, what to do with the kiddo, and it's just it's a pain in the ass.
Well, in our case, you don't have to deal with it anymore. We got to figure out what to do with the dogs.
Yeah, the dogs are another one on top of it, and then Holly's to that age where she's got things she's got to do. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh, I've got volleyball.
We're so close to her driving herself. We're so close.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
I won't have to worry about that much longer.
Yeah, I know people love it and they celebrate these whole. I can't stand it. Just have it downriver somewhere. We'll show up for the night. And you know what I mean? Like, it'll just be sent 10 times easier. It's 10 times cheaper. I will reflect that in my gift to you. You know what I mean? Like, I just hate destination weddings.
I haven't been to too many. This first one for Vegas is fun. The only thing I fear about this Vegas, all right, is it's Michelle's cousin.
Yeah.
They were like sisters growing up. I told you that many times. So Michelle's in the wedding. She has to stand up. She's a bridesmaid.
This is the one from Minnesota?
Yeah, this is her second marriage, so it's not that big a deal. It's not like, oh my God. But here's the thing, right? I don't know this guy she's marrying.
Okay.
It sounds fantastic to go to Vegas. Michelle goes off with her cousin to do things. I get a whole day on the strip by myself.
Yeah.
How awesome does that sound?
Food and stuff
If they
like that.
stick this douchebag with me.
Why would he be with you?
I don't know. It'd be like,
He's got to have other groomsmen.
I'm praying to God
He's
does.
got to. Right?
I'm praying.
He'll probably extend that, and you just go, "Oh no, I want to go check out something." You kind of bow out gracefully.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping. I'm praying on.
I would assume
I'm
that's the way it's
hoping.
going to go down.
If
If it doesn't, man, you suck.
Yeah, I'm bailing quickly.
Yeah, wow.
I'm like, I gotta go. How awesome could be on the strip by yourself, not have to worry about anybody, just do whatever I want.
Man.
Doesn't that sound terrific?
Yeah. So this next weekend, Heather and Lorna are going to go up camping outside of East Lansing. They're going to go up to state campground. Yeah. So I'm like, I got the whole weekend to do whatever. I got to work Saturday, but like, all right, you know what I mean? Like, anymore, that solitude is kind of nice. So.
We're running a little long, but I got one more for you. Today, I went for a walk. I do walk, believe it or not.
Tell by looking at you.
Yeah, I know, all the time. When you look at me, you think professional. So I walk up to the Walgreens, and then I walk a little area, this back road by my neighbor. I'm walking, there's this bike on the sidewalk. There's an old man who rides his bike all the time in my neighborhood. He has a shaved head, white hair, glasses. I see him in the street every once in a while, wave to him, whatever. He's a nice person.
Keep it cordial.
Yeah, I'm walking down the street and getting close to this bike. He comes out to get the bike because he thought it was in my way. He has nothing on but tighty whities, but they're blue. I'm like, are you serious right now? First of all, it's a pedal bike. It's not a motorcycle.
Yeah.
I could just walk around the bike. Oh, let me move this for you. Who's hot
In
day,
his
huh?
tighty whities?
Yeah. I mean, they're
Tighty
blue.
blueies?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're blue, like, and they're hugging his package. He says, nothing else on. And then he looks at me and goes, yeah, hot day. Yeah, I don't want a conversation, man.
What do you get? Like, at what age do you just don't give a shit?
Apparently
anymore?
his.
Yeah, because, man, those old dudes at the gym and stuff just don't give a
If
shit.
I had to guess, he's probably around 68, 70
Doesn't
somewhere.
give a shit.
Oh, man.
But you know what the sad part is? You do the math. Dad's around the corner from that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I tell you what, the guy was in shape. I'll tell you that much.
Okay. Well,
That
good
bike
for him.
ride's paying off, but it's like, dude, I don't need to see your package.
And at the same time, if it's a bicycle, I'll just walk around the damn
He
thing.
come running out in his drawers.
Yeah, what the hell?
Nothing else on.
I cannot keep walking. This bike is in my way.
Yeah,
What?
it was so
So
weird.
weird,
So
yeah.
that was my adventure. And then the other one, I know
You have the weirdest ones with the guy showering
always.
on the pool deck.
It's always
Yeah.
I gotta see dudes naked all
Yeah,
the time.
wow.
It's like, what the hell? And then this last one. So you said you don't want to teach Lorna to drive.
No, I don't.
I'm starting to understand you.
Oh, okay. What's going
But
on?
I'm trying to be the good dad. I'm trying to help her out and stuff. And she's doing a great job. My daughter has got her learner's permit.
She got that lead foot though, son.
Well, yeah, but
She feathering that throttle yet, or is she still hammering?
hammers a little bit. But, so I wanted to get her some time in, because she got to get 30 hours in by November. She's at the 5-hour mark, so she's doing okay. So I wanted to go all the way down Southfield, and we're going to the DXL on 12 Mile Road.
Oh wow.
I had a
Okay.
coupon.
You want to go where it transitions from freeway to highway?
Yeah. So that's a good stretch of freeway. She needs freeway time too. And man, I mean, that's some heart pumping stuff.
Oh
right there.
yeah. What?
First off, the Honda's got the windows down. There's no air conditioning.
You
So
doing
it feels like you're
100.
120. And she is nervous and visibly nervous.
Oh, okay.
I made her get in the center lane because the right lane.
Peels off and all this.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
left
And
lane
you got to deal with the
zooming.
merge.
Yeah.
Well, what I didn't know, center lane makes her nervous. So she wasn't talking, just sat like this the whole time. And she did a good job, but Holly has this tendency to sway a little bit with the car.
She's hard to keep it in that lane.
Yeah, and sometimes that car, my arm be out, I'm looking at that car.
But you're trying to be cool.
Yeah,
about
I'm trying
it.
because if I get upset, she'll get upset. Something might
it'll just
happen.
follow
Oh
it.
man,
Dude, it was brutal.
you want some blood pumping time?
Yeah.
Ride with your 15-year-old daughter on the
I
freeway.
wonder if it's just, is it something like, it's like when
just gonna be
Lorna has to learn things. You know what I mean? Like where you're just like, I don't know how to teach people certain things that you just know how to do.
Yeah,
And then kind of like that thing, same thing with driving. Like you must just have develop the feel for the lane
and
or something.
And you can really tell. There's been 3 weeks, right? 2 weeks. I mean, she's improved over the 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You could tell it's gonna get there, but right
It
now
just
she's
takes
still
the
in that
time.
nerve.
Yeah.
Because then the other day, I forget what day it was when we got back. It was probably Tuesday or Wednesday while I was still on vacation. I made her take me down 94 all the way to Merriman.
Oh, okay.
From Southfield to Merriman.
Just going somewhere in particular?
Well, we stopped at the Speedway at Merriman and Van Born. She
Okay.
needed gas, so we got
Yeah.
some gas and got a beverage because
Yeah.
that's what I do. And so I'm trying to get her to feel comfortable on the freeway.
Just get that time in.
Yeah, I mean, she's really comfortable coming to your house. She's really comfortable driving up to the hill. But outside of that, outside of her comfort zone,
Oh.
and the other thing she's got to get more comfortable is the parking. You know, we parked at your church.
Yeah.
It's like, she's like,
she
"Can I
said
park
at Best
there?"
Buy. She parked way out at Best Buy.
Oh my God,
too,
yeah. It's like, geez, can we park a little closer?
I'm not good for. I'll pay someone to take Lorna. I'm not going to be able to do that.
I mean, I'll help you if you need it, but it's a trip, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and I'm doing the mom. You know, I'm not hitting that imaginary brake.
Oh, are you really?
The one thing she's getting, she slips on is the turning. Like sometimes she doesn't slow down to turn. Sometimes it's like,
You come around that corner hot as hell.
and she doesn't mean it, and she turns weird. Like if this is the steering wheel, right? When you turn, you just use the one hand, let go,
Roll it.
comes
Yeah,
back.
you kind of roll.
She goes like this.
So her arms are crossing.
Yes, yeah.
that's what you're
It's like
saying.
you can let it go and just
Kind
know.
of move it
No,
around you,
no,
move
not
it
how.
around
She's
you.
death grip. So it doesn't make a natural smooth turn,
Yeah.
and that'll come with time. And she's doing a good job. And then of course because she's 15, any kind of feedback I give her, she gets pissy. You know, whatever. Oh, you know, I have my turn signal on, and I didn't go that fast on that corner.
She's chipping at you.
Yeah, so
okay,
she'll
okay.
come right back.
Yeah.
Where I don't think Michelle does, which is amazing. She drove Michelle's car, and Michelle, there's something.
She
in
drove the
McDonald's.
Equinox?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She won't drive the truck. I've offered her. You want to drive the truck? No. She ain't gonna drive the truck. But she's drove the Equinox. She's drove the Honda and stuff like that, and she's doing a good job. But
Good.
it gets your blood pumping sometimes.
Dude, I told you, man. I'm not down with that. I got BP issues.
And the other one, I got BP issues. And the other one is she's got to drive at night, so we got to get some nighttime driving.
Oh, okay.
At least 2-3 hours, she said. So
Wow.
one of these days when it's dark, I'm like, get in the car.
How are you guys like filling out a form? Is that how you guys are doing it?
It's an app. You turn the app on her phone when she gets in the car.
Oh,
I mean, technically, we could cheat, and I could just use her phone all week, throw it in my truck, and
yeah,
then.
but at the same time, you got to
That's
learn.
not gonna benefit
You
her.
got to learn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So you know,
Doesn't
getting
help
out
if
there.
Dad does a science project.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
So,
yeah.
so she's learning. She's getting there,
Wow.
but I mean, it's hard. She doesn't see it through her parents' eyes. I'd love this. I hope I'm alive when she has kids that are driving age, so I can say, "See, it ain't that damn easy to teach,
And it's
is
just
it?"
that smoothness of it, and
It's
like
gone.
you said, yeah.
Where me, you, Heather, and Michelle are driving, it's all smooth, no problem.
Yeah.
Whatever. But when you're 15-year-olds driving,
And like you
and then
said,
those
like-
fast turns.
the lane one's tough too, because like you said, like you could, you're like, before you say something, she pulls over.
Yeah. She got next to this red car, the brother, and it was tinted windows, and the window was down by this much. I smelt the weed coming from the guy's car. I'm like, we're too close. And she knows it too. She says, "Yeah, I know I'm bad at that." Because cars will come up on this side, so she want to move over a
push
little bit.
this, yeah.
But then there's
You
cars.
gotta own
So
your
that's why she
lane,
hates the
yeah.
center lane. She wants to
Yeah.
be in the right lane. Because cars are only coming on the left, so it doesn't.
Oh,
she-
you're only correcting to one side, not
yeah,
both.
even driving here, like down Monroe, where a car's coming this way, she'll tend to get over a little bit. Even though
Just a
you're in a tiny ass car, no one's gonna hit you. You got plenty of room.
You got to own your lane too.
she-
Yeah.
it'll come with time. But
Wow.
so there you go. Look into your future, man. You got
Not
you ain't got
mine,
long.
man.
What,
I'm,
8
I'm
years?
dead serious. I'm not doing it.
Why? You got to do it,
I
man.
guarantee you, I'm not going to.
Sometimes she's not gonna be available. She's gonna want Dad to drive with her.
I'm telling you, break your scooter out. I'm not doing it.
Oh, poor Lorna. So there you go. Look at a dad life and some Philadelphia and Madden's 37 versions and all that good stuff this week. We'll be back Saturday for the bear fight.
Yeah, bare knuckle fighting 7.
Hopefully BV be on, and then
Yeah.
I'll have my final verdict on Orange is the New Black and its topical subjects.
Yeah.
But anyways, so as always, catch us on fatguyslittle.podcast.com. You can catch us on Facebook. You can catch
Well,
us.
hopefully, if the app worked, you can catch
Yes,
us on
hopefully it
Facebook.
worked. And then, of course, you can see it at Google Play, Apple iTunes, and all that good stuff. And, of course, I'm Steve,
Charles.
and we'll catch you next time.